This is, I'd like to do I make a motion? I don't even know. Do I
Yeah.
make-
Call the meeting order.
I'm going to call the meeting of the Finance Economic Development Committee meeting to order. We're running behind. It's 3:56 on Thursday. The main purpose of this meeting is to discuss a rate increase request from Waste Management. We've got the guys here from Waste Management, so with that, Danny, I'm going to kind of ship it off to you and let you do an intro, and then I've got some stuff, and I know y'all will have some stuff as well.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We was contacted about a month or so ago. Steve Edwards is a representative for Waste Management, currently Advanced, but now it's Waste Management. And about a rate increase, we do have a contract with them that was renewed in 2020. There's clause in there for a rate increase at year 3, I believe, 3 or 4. But he has asked for, they have the right to ask for an increase due to unforeseen hard times, which I think we all agree. We're in some unique times now. I know they are having the same issues we are, finding people to work, drive trucks, and it just continues worse and worse as more we talk. But Steve, I asked Steve if he would like to have a committee meeting to come talk to y'all first before we went to council, and he said he would. So with that, I'm gonna let Steve Edwards come up here and talk to y'all. Steve, I have a contract here in case, for reference, if you need to go back to it. Rick Jarvis, he's Latham Sanitation, the owner.
Thank you, Danny. As y'all know, we have fallen under very difficult times like most businesses. I would call it extraordinary times, and what I'm doing is I'm asking each one of our cities to have some compassion and understanding and work with us and help us with recovering money that we had no idea we would be losing. A lot of the money would be geared toward recovering for increased labor costs, since that's a big chunk of it. Another part of it is fuel. Another part of it is parts with the supply chain issues. Another part of it is the resin from the plastic for plastic containers that we pick up for residential service. And a big part of it is steel. A big part of it is just global inflation. We're at a 30-year high of CPI. Right now it's running 6.2%. And when we first started this journey with the city of Loganville, it was in 2015. And the city manager before Danny, Bill Jones, had wrote into the contract that we couldn't have a price increase for several years. And back in 2015, you fast forward to now, 2021, we've had 2 CPI price increases with the city of Loganville. Well, CPI was running 2-3%. So over time, that builds, and that builds, and that builds when we didn't get a CPI. And that's one of the reasons why we're here as well. A big part of it is on the residential side that Latham picks up, and they have seen significant volume increases at the curb due to COVID, due to the pandemic. And I think they're in the same boat, the very same boat we are in as far as trying to recover costs for labor. I mean, I could sit here and say labor's gone up 30%, steel's gone up 60%, rosin's gone up 25%, but the really crux of it is that doing business in our world is just so strange and complex right now. And I've had a lot of success so far asking cities for more money to recover these lost costs. And Loganville is no different. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any. But Rick, did I leave anything out?
On our end, I literally, when he talked about parts, I literally had to go buy a junk truck to get a part to fix a truck because it was a nationwide back order and they weren't going to get it and they couldn't give me a time. I mean, and my fuel has gone up 43%, my labor 28%, my volume, Steve said it, 30% on volume. Not because we got more houses, because we got more trash. Recycling went from a 0 when we started in 2015, $0 to put on the ground. We're now paying $70 a ton to dump recycling. We pay only in the 40s for trash. So recycling now costs more to do than trash. It's all, we've had to absorb all of it in the last 6 years. So the last year's been the worst. Since the election, the last year has been the worst. I mean, it's jump, 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 jump. And now I'm having to give my guys raises to keep I've got a guy yesterday come in, Pratt Industries offered a guy $3,500 signing bonus to leave me right away. So that's what I'm battling right now but we haven't missed a day. Since the COVID started, we're one of the rare cities that haven't had a day of service missed, not one. We've been here every day. I'm 65 and I'll get in the truck and go run. And she has seen me in her subdivision, and I've been in Danny's subdivision, I've been in Skip's subdivision, so I've been in all of them, and Jay's too.
So like Rick just alluded to, I think Loganville is very fortunate. Waste Management is a very large company. We have a lot of resources, and a lot of cities without those resources did not fare as well as Loganville. Yes, we've had some hiccups and bumps, but we're able to recover. And I think having a local subcontractor in Latham is definitely a positive for the city of Loganville. I looked at your rates. They're a little bit on the low side, so I thought $2 a home, bringing you to $16.98 a home, and then right at about a 10% increase on the commercial side to get us at least somewhat close to whole again.
Steve, did you say 60? I thought we were 1750 now.
Are you 1750?
Huh?
I think we charge you. Yeah, I think we charge you something different. And the
Oh,
city of Loganville uses the difference for bill collection and all that, customer service, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
Makes sense. Kyle, Rick, volume is 30%, and it's not only the volume, it's the people. Kyle, you got that picture that I sent you earlier today? I want to see I want you guys to see
Okay.
what I took a picture of this morning, of what you guys go through. And look at there.
And we're supposed to pick up can only.
Look at there.
I mean, and we're cleaning people up, but we're supposed to only get what's in the can per the contract.
Exactly. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
What people do.
You know,
And-
We kinda
and
spoiled
it's just
people.
incredible.
and I'll tell you, we've kind of spoiled you because we're local. We care. We're here.
Yeah, and
You
you
know,
guys take care of it. You guys
you know,
take care of it.
that's our goal is to take care of y'all.
It's amazing. Anyway. Thank you.
But it's just something to talk about. We wanted to start the conversation and see if mayor and council can understand these extraordinary circumstances and help us out.
I mean, I would support that.
How long does the increase, is this going to roll over every year? Is it going to bump up every year?
For this, I
How are
can't
we
really
going to
speak
address
for
it year
you.
to year?
Well, I believe, Danny, I think in 2023, when we're eligible for another price increase, typically, go ahead, Danny.
Contract's there, but I believe it's year 3. It's section 5.1, if I remember right. Years 3 and maybe years 4 and 5 is based on CPI, but not to exceed 5%. I believe 1, 2, and 3, no rate, but
It's
you may.
5.1 under section 3. It's weird.
Yeah, section 3, 5.1, yeah.
So the rates will stay the same for 3 years?
By the contract from 2000 to 2023, we can keep the contract the same. They can ask you what they're doing now, but years 4 and 5, they automatically get it up to
Yeah.
5% without any approval.
So to answer your question, it would be for 2022, and then 23 and 24, we'd get a price increase. The way contracts are typically done is every year we get a rate increase, but again, back when we did this, we had no idea COVID was going to happen. And we basically folded under Bill Jones without price increases, because he worked hard for that, and so did Danny. And
Now, is that-
typically.
Is that for
today-
commercial too?
Commercial and residential,
And
yes, yes.
And I just wanted to mention on the residential side, there's been a few cities that have gone out for bid, thought, well, we'll do better going out. And I'll throw one out that are fixing to vote on it. I mean, they've already voted and got their bids in, RFP. They cut 3 services. Their price came in at $14.50 a house, can only. They eliminated recycling, bulk, and yard waste. to get to $1,450 per household. That was the latest bid that just went out. So, and I can give you several more samples. It's Alpharetta, Georgia. They're at $2,950 a house for the same thing you're getting, same service. And they just went out.
I have a couple of things I'd like to discuss with council, and Jay and Ray and Danny, you're here, Suze. Rick, and I spent a good bit of time with Susan and Kaylee this afternoon, kind of talking through some concerns and some things that they see as being on the front line. And Rick, I think residentially, as you've said, and you should be proud of, that there's been no service missed in COVID. And that's great. Steve, I think on the commercial side, we have a lot more challenges. And I have some concerns based on what I've talked to them about. And it seems to be, and forgive me because I know we've spoken once or twice, but I'm coming in from a different angle. It seems to be that since Waste Management has purchased Advanced, we've gone from having one person that we could call that could get things done, where we didn't have to call you and Patty, to where we're on a network of 800 numbers, and Patty's still involved, but she's at a much different level now. And so that's one of my main concerns, is how much time, how much abuse staff is taking with angry people that order a dumpster that doesn't show up, and then how long it's taking them to get a resolution because they don't have somebody direct to call that can fix it. So I'm really just talking about commercial. So
Yeah, I
one
can
of the
understand.
things I would want to ask is, can you give us our own point person that can actually do something?
Well, I think we did go through some bumps, and let me just back up a minute. The merger happened, but it wasn't because of Waste Management. It was because of COVID, because of the pandemic.
Okay.
And Danny and a group of us and our leadership team had a come to Jesus meeting, and now things have turned. It's trending in the right direction. If there's ever an angry customer, Kaylee sends them to me, and I call the angry customer and talk to them.
Right.
And that's a good thing we've started. I believe that service, I haven't heard any emails, I haven't seen any emails, I haven't had any calls from Kaylee. I check on her. Do we make a mistake from time to time? Yes, but we made those same mistakes when it was advanced disposal. Things are getting better, council member. They're not perfect because of the environment we're in right now, but they're a lot better than where they were.
Well, I think that they are getting better, and that is the sense that I got. But like the Dix compactor today that's missing, the 40-yard compactor that was taken on Tuesday, has not come back. It's like in the wind.
I did not know about that. Nobody's
And
called me.
And I'm not after you that you don't know it. At your level,
Right.
there has to be somebody else that they can go to get it fixed.
Okay.
And so we have a compactor from Dix that was picked up Tuesday to be returned. It's
Right.
not there.
Well, that's kind of one of the things we talked about in the meeting. I can't fix what I don't know is broken. So I think from this point forward, to Kaylee, she needs to send that information to me as well, because I didn't know about it.
I think, hang on just a minute. Yeah, I think you were copying.
I haven't seen email all day,
And-
most of the day.
But, I mean, you're at least a VP, right?
No.
Okay, what is, it just seems like.
I'm Public Sector Solutions. I take care of cities and counties. That's all I do. That's all I
Okay,
do.
that's a title I didn't know.
That's all I do.
I guess.
I'm not in operations.
Okay, so,
So probably what should have happened is that operations should have reached out to me and called me from the road and said, hey, we got a problem.
Right.
Can you see what's going on? I would have been out here to find out what's going on.
well, the sense I get is that for whatever reason, and I don't know, so I'm not going to blame it on merger or COVID or whatever, we're not getting, as a city, the solution to some things that we need. And like, there was a customer that called for a roll-off, and they expected the roll-off to be delivered, and the delivery showed that it had happened, but it hadn't. And I know you're aware, because I believe you
Yeah.
talked to that customer.
I did.
The problem solving, instead of going us to Patty, has now become a 7-step process, which is not good use of their time, and they're getting hammered. So from a commercial standpoint, I have no issue right now with the residential increase. I'm almost okay with the commercial one after maybe 90 days of getting this stuff handled. But the other thing I'm concerned about is that they shared with me that they were supposed to get hauler call training, which means they can go and look and see what's going on with the trucks, and they still don't have it.
Yeah, we talked about doing that, and I'm sure it'll get done, council member, but just the timing of it, we just haven't had time yet.
How can we make here's
We
where.
will make the time.
You're coming to ask for an increase.
Right.
And I'm saying that the staff here doesn't get what, they need some help, and I can't say, yes, here, you get a
Right.
raise, and we'll get to them when, I need something from you.
Okay.
That's my, I mean, I'm just being real direct, sorry. I just.
No, you're good. You're good. Just very direct. You're good.
And so that, I need to see, what I really want to see is a point person for them to talk to that may or may not be you, but I feel like if you're the what problem solver? The PA, I feel like I need that title too sometimes. It's
Public
like-
sector.
Public
Public
sector,
sector
right.
solutions.
It's like a Batman. I think it's great. Yeah, I think that they need somebody maybe, I get, are you in your car a lot?
I am.
So if, yeah, you're always on the road. So if they had somebody that could look something up right when they, like, or they could go to the hauler call. I mean, can we get that training scheduled in the next 30 days?
Yeah.
And then get them a point person? Because I know the great thing about residential with Rick, I mean, they just pick up the phone and call Rick and Rick fixes it. But he is also not, I don't think, he is not a public sector problem solver.
No, he's an owner.
Yeah, yeah. So I understand the whole thing about gas and employees. I get all of that, and I'm not fighting you about that, but I'm telling you, we need more tools to be more effective for our
And
customers.
we've talked about that.
Okay.
I presented something to Steve this week, and we said we were gonna talk more about it, because I am in town, and I am close by, and I do have a shop down the road.
Right.
That maybe we could get involved on being the guy that puts the fire out. When there's something hot like that happens, that we could be included in it, and maybe fix that problem quicker for them.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
And we've had that conversation this week before today, about maybe us being more involved in putting out fires. Because I'll be honest with you, in their defense, every big company's having the exact same
Oh,
problem.
I'm sure, I'm not picking on you or
I
any
know
of
you're
that.
not. I know you're not, but
And then one other thing that they used to get that they're not getting is a carryover list. So
Okay.
it used to be where, I mean, just so y'all know, a carryover list means they call out for a whole bunch of dumpsters to get dropped, and they're supposed to be dropped today, but if they didn't make it today, they'd get a list of carryovers to be next day so that they were prepared when they called in, or they could call in and say, hey, we were supposed to get to you today, we're not, they're kind of operating in the dark a lot. Is that a fair? Yeah, it's a telephone. I just, some of the stuff that they have to take, I just don't think they should have to take. And so I want to give them all the tools to do that.
Okay.
So,
I agree, and I appreciate you looking after your employees like that. So what you're saying is the caller call training, that's one thing. That one direct point of contact where you can just contact them and they'll get it done. That's the second thing. And what was the third thing, or was there a third thing?
the carryover list,
Carryover list.
yep.
Those three things.
And then what I'd like to do is to try to get the contract where, you know, because we did do an increase last year, is to get the contract where we don't come back and increase it again next year for our residents. You know, I want to get something locked in for 24 to 36 months. That would be my last ask.
For residents, you don't want any other price increases other than this one? Typically, contracts go every year through CPI, Water Sewer Trash Index. And
Or
for-
with
to
CPI with
stick-
the limit. I mean, in
to
other
stick
words,
Rick with, yeah, we can do a limit.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
But-
here for an open checkbook. I mean,
Right.
I hear what you're saying, but I also have to pass these costs on to the residents, and they're not going to be happy. And the other thing that I'm dealing with is that, you know, Rick throughout with COVID, has performed, and I think has had less issues than the commercial side. So I want to make sure that you get what you need because costs have gone up, but we get what we need because we're the customer.
Okay. So if I get those things for Kaylee and all that's done, I just want you to know, I can't say, it's got to be we're 2023 and 2024, we do get a CPI increase with a cap.
Yeah,
Is that
I'd
kind of
like
what,
to-
you're
yeah,
is that,
with
you're
the
good with
cap,
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
CPI with a
Okay.
cap, I think I'd be okay with. Yeah, I think it's already in.
It's already in there, so we're good. So I think if I fix those
Are you good?
things,
Is that good? Susan, are you
Yeah,
comfortable with that?
why don't you guys kind of chime in? You got them right here. Anything Ed didn't cover? What's your biggest issue? Just, what's the thing that drives you nuts?
I mean, since our since our meeting that we had all together, that did seem to clear a lot of things up. And we do know that we can call you like we can call Rick when it's a really crazy customer. So that is helpful, and, you know, she did get some other contacts, but Kaylee could probably speak better for herself than I can speak for her, because she deals with this way more than I do.
No, it has gotten a lot better since our meeting. It's been a lot smoother. I'm not getting angry phone calls. My trash didn't get picked up. Why did it not get picked up? You know, I'm running a business here, blah, 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 blah. I'm not getting those phone calls anymore, which is very nice. I leave here every day with a clear head and not in tears almost, because I just got mentally beat up.
They're calling
About
me now.
trash.
They're calling me now, Kaylee.
But there are some things that I just, and I've never worked with another trash company before, but to me, in my opinion, I just feel like Waste Management itself is such a big corporation that it's too big for our needs, is what I feel like. And like I said, but I've never worked with another, you know, city with another trash company, so I don't have anything to compare it to other than watching Susan go through it with Advance.
Well, I think y'all had a tough time with the company before us, and that was Waste Pro.
I never worked with them. I only worked with Advanced.
I can assure you, we did not have the problems that we have now. I worked with Waste Pro.
Advanced was, you know, I feel like they took it more personal, or maybe it just wasn't so large that somebody in Illinois is canceling a delivery of a roll-off in Georgia. You know, things like that have happened since it's transferred to Waste Management because it's so large. Kaylee got a call about a Home Depot dumpster, 7 different phone calls from Waste Management about the same dumpster from 7 different people in one day. Who talks to who? You know, it's a lot of that. So it's time consuming.
The Dix compactor today, the guy that called me, his name was Aaron from Waste Management. And I asked him, okay, well, do you have a direct line that I can call you back once I get this information and figure out what the problem was? How can I get back in contact with you? Oh, well, I don't have a direct line. You'll have to call the main number and talk to whoever picks up there. And I said, okay, well, do you have an email? I can email you and tell you what the problem was. Well, what's your email? Because I'll have to email you first, and then you can reply back to that email. That's how it works. That's too much. Things get
Well, I mean,
crazy that way.
We're not absolutely perfect. We're going to make mistakes. But since that meeting, there's been significant improvement.
There has, and
But-
I will agree
but
with
there
that.
will
There
be
definitely
mistakes.
has, like I said. And I get that, there will be mistakes. But like, it's a 40-yard compactor, it's big, and it has a cover on it, so it's even bigger. How did it just disappear?
I don't
And
know
it's
the
not
answer.
like there's different companies over there in that strip where Dix is at that has a compactor. Yes, Rick?
They will get stolen. And when y'all said that today, coming out of Lawrenceville today was a red Peterbilt that is not a Waste Management truck, but it had a Waste Management compactor on it.
It was Tuesday.
It was going down, Grayson Highway. And I looked at it, being in the garbage business, I look at every garbage truck. So, and I'm thinking, why is a Waste Management can on a truck that's not a Waste Management truck? But they do get stolen. I've had roll-off boxes stolen.
Well, and I think what they're saying is why I said the one-point person
Why
would be
the one
helpful.
point?
Because I know you were copied on that email, but I also know if you're in your car all the time, I mean, you're one person. I get that. So if they had one person to call that had the power that they needed
Right.
to
They could
figure
know it
stuff
right
out.
off the bat, then I
Right.
would,
They got used to Patty, Patty being able to kind of
Yeah.
go talk to somebody and fix it, and I think that would immensely help the process for there. That and the hauler call, where they can look up and see where a truck is huge. Then they don't have to make that phone call.
Totally agree.
So-
Steve, there has been significant changes since the merger, and I agree that COVID has changed a lot of stuff, but under Advance's management, and I know you work for Waste Management now, but under Advance's, that was top-notch community the service that they got with Advance. They do not get that communication with Waste Management anymore. It dropped off. So yes, there's been COVID issues, but the merger has made the issues we have right now continuing, being taken over by Waste Management has made all the difference in the change. Because it is significant between how we were handled with Advance and how we are handled with Waste Management. And I know it's because of the different way each company is going to handle things and their communication train. But Waste Management's got to know that just like our residents expect a service, we expect that same service from y'all because that's what we would always been given. If we're not given it anymore, we're going to call and we're going to present these issues to y'all just like our customers do to us. But it is definitely making it impossible. The day that she called you not too long ago, she was near tears. And I told Susan, I said, go tell her to pick up the phone and call Steve and hand it to him.
She did.
That's what he told you to do.
Yep.
So, but like Ann was saying, we shouldn't have to always call Steve, call Steve, call Steve. She should have somebody in the field that's going to rectify this. And you just be that Rick. You be the very top person that solves the problem. It's just the communication. We just don't have the service we had.
Right, I appreciate that. I mean, that's part of the changes we go through, and you're right, Advance was a different animal, but that animal was not sustainable. Our debt was sky high, and Waste Management plucked us, and we just kind of fell into it. I think they're trying to be like the Advance model, but it's just going to take time because there's so many silos that they have and you got to go through. But I think the ask with having that one person and the hauler and the calls, that's not a tremendous ask.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
pretty
reasonable to
easy.
me. Give them the tools, more tools, to try to solve our own issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, personally, we get that in place. I have no issue with an immediate increase for residential and a 90-day hold on the commercial to get all that stuff in place and then rolling with it. I don't have an issue with those things. I understand what you're dealing with from an economic standpoint. I have a personal issue with handing a raise when we have so many issues on the commercial side until those get fixed. Or at least we make an effort to fix them.
But I don't want y'all to get the impression there are so many issues because there's not. There are issues that come up.
And they all
And-
have said that it
right.
is much better since the October meeting.
Come Jesus meeting, yeah.
I will tell you a real funny story about, one of my drivers used to be a school bus driver. And when he first started driving for me, he came in one day, he said, I am just amazed. I said, what? He goes, people get more angry over their trash not being picked up than their kid not being on the bus.
That's probably true.
I mean, he said it just blew him away.
Anybody have any other questions?
You done being the bad cop?
You want to be a good cop?
I
I'm
always
not a
think
bad cop.
No, you're, today you are.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a bad cop.
So is this correct? 4,368 trash cans is what you pick up residential? And then 995 seniors?
I'll tell you.
How many commercial? Just curious.
You have 4,716 accounts in Loganville, residential. You have 618 second cans. So we do,
Yeah.
the $2 was, and we was hoping to up $1 or something on that second can. The option is, we're supposed to be can only. And right now, we kind of tend to do a little more than that. Somebody will call in and go, hey, I got a couple extra bags. Well, they go buy 55-gallon bags.
Yeah.
And the standard kitchen bag is 18 gallons. So they stuff 3 in there and get another one stuff 3. They got more in those bags than they had in their can. The option is they're supposed to get a second can at much less rate.
Right.
And you have 600 and something that do it. So yes, that's what you have in house count.
What about commercial?
Oh,
Just you can ballpark it.
Have a lot.
it's a big number. 600, 700
Okay, that's good.
cans out there. It's a big number.
And the big complaints we get is commercial, right? Okay.
I have a personal ask. Could we get a corrugated recycling container here at the city for the people to use? Because I bet we trash all of our boxes at the city, right? Like,
Oh, you mean like a
Dumpster?
Yeah.
dumpster? Yeah, Because I know she gets a lot of cardboard. That's what she's talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about cardboard yeah, we've talked about it, like the cardboard
Like,
boxes.
how Pratt does the front end loader?
But somebody asked when I was running, what am I, because I'm a super recycler, but, like, what do we do? No, don't tell a story on me. But, I mean, I would love to, if we had a corrugated recycler here in the parking lot that residents could put boxes in, or we could put boxes in.
I think you do that, yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. If we put a dumpster right there in for the public, your whole parking lot's gonna be covered in trash. How about we do it at Public Works, Monday through Friday, working hours?
But then you wouldn't recycle your boxes here. I'm talking about the little bitty, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
but
about,
they're gonna,
But I'm talking about
I see what
recycling
Darren's
here. I mean, how much cardboard are we throwing out?
not a whole lot.
All
Not
the
here.
Amazon deliveries, the paper boxes?
I mean that, but yeah, it's not, if you put a dumpster here for the public, I'm telling you, we're gonna have trash out the
Well, it doesn't have to
door.
be for the public, but can we
You know what we
recycle?
gotta tackle next is those, donation boxes. We gotta get rid of those.
So,
We
Oh,
got,
Lord,
those are
okay,
bad,
we're
too.
not doing that.
What? No,
we
those
got
are
one,
bad.
by the way. We
yeah,
got-
we can get one.
He's right.
Yeah, we
No, I
can
agree.
get one.
Yeah,
We can have it, I mean, take it to City Hall and recycle there.
okay.
We got one of those in the police station right next to the senior center, the corrugated.
Do we?
Hey, Rick, last time we talked, I don't know if everybody heard it. Can you tell the council and members of the audience the lengths you're going to hire people? I think you mentioned $25 an hour.
But it's because, like, and I just told Steve earlier, sitting out there, yesterday, one of my drivers pulled up at a scale house down at Pratt Industries. They offered him a $3,500 sign-on bonus and said, "What do you make?" And they bumped it up. And then he didn't go, because he said he doesn't want to go be a number. That's one thing about working for a family-owned business. They're family. I mean, we treat them, every one of my employees got a ham and a turkey for Thanksgiving. I mean, they're not a number to me. And the guys that run in this city and anywhere else we're family business. So I have to match those. When somebody tries to steal one of my drivers, I have to raise that up to get them. And right now, there's such a shortage nationwide that we're seeing now rates and they need to be there because these guys are highly skilled operating these equipment. I mean, these guys, so we're getting up there now to where it's $35 an hour, but we're not generating enough drivers out of these schools to fill all the voids right now. There is just way more voids than there are, and those guys coming out of the schools, they're not ready. I'm glad they're getting their degree and coming out of there, but they're not ready to be cut loose driving a truck that weighs 60,000 pounds by themselves. They're just not ready. So a lot of my guys have been with me for years. They're old timers. When I say old timers, they've been with me a long time. And we're very picky about who we hire, very picky that comes in this city. I'm very picky about them.
Where are you at with recycling? I know there has been some discussion in the past
Right.
about not doing it.
There's some cities that have dropped it. City of Marl, Georgia dropped recycling. City of Clarkston, Georgia dropped it 18 months ago. Got a lot of flack about it and brought it back. Some cities, City of Lawrenceville, they put theirs out for bid again. Their price doubled, but they went to every other week pickup to try to save some money. Recycling, it gets recycled, I promise you. It doesn't go to a landfill. It does get recycled.
I personally quit recycling. What? Wait a minute, I'm explaining, and I talked to one of y'all about it.
Yeah. You talked to me, I think.
I talked to you about
Yeah,
it. Every day, I had to go pick up my recycling thing from down the street or out in the other street.
That's been our challenges we're talking about.
I just said, I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah.
So I don't recycle no more.
Yeah. And that's been our biggest challenge is labor.
So you gotta walk an extra 4 feet.
No, it ain't 4 feet. I mean, I got some big, sometimes it's a wall.
Rick, Steve,
I'm serious.
you have other cities that you do similar to Loganville?
Yes.
And do you have the similar problems there with the girls are talking about?
Absolutely, we have similar problems, yeah, we do. Loganville's no different. Actually, we probably take care of Loganville more than a lot of cities we take care of. I'm just telling you right now, I know service was a problem, and we had that meeting, and I think service started to trend in the right direction, but you will have the one-offs, the dicks, where something happens. You will have that roll-off where we thought we delivered it, but somebody wasn't talking to somebody else. We will have miscommunications to make sure we communicate with the customer. That's probably why she got all those calls. So I'm just telling y'all, Service is not that bad in Loganville. There's problems, yes, and we have people to fix them. And this is Kaylee's first experience with garbage. And I'm just telling y'all, it's not that bad. I'm okay with the 90 days, however you want to do that, but it is not that bad.
And I'll attest to that with I can tell you other companies, because being in the business, we've been doing this, in 2024, we'll be 50 years, 4 generations, our family in this business. So I know everything that goes on with every big company. I know how they work things, how they do it. I sometimes know them better than they know themselves. And I can tell you that Waste Management is finally getting a grip on it, but they're understanding, and the fact that they're allowing us to stay with them as a partner, Waste Management doesn't partner with small companies, I'll just tell you right now. And the fact that they're wanting to keep us and keep us around, that's not their MO. It never has been. They've always been, we do it. And they understand now having the small guy, the local guy that can help. And that's what I said, Steve and I talked about it.
And I think to your point too, I've got other cities that have a competitor, and they are begging me to come in and help, and I just can't. I'm not in current day situations. I got to stick with what I got to take care of what I have.
So what will you do with the concerns that the girls and Ann has brought to you? Do you have a boss that you'll go to and say, look,
Yes,
we
that's
really got to
precisely
get a
what
hold
I'm
on
going to
this?
do, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say, the city's understanding, we have had some issues, but we need to do these 4 things. If we do these 4 things, we'll get the increase in 30 days. 90
I'm
days.
going to try to help them beat the fire putter out.
Yeah.
120.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Hey, I'll work, I understand, I'll work, I mean, we'll get it, I know it's better. I just want to get it even better, that's all.
Me too. I mean,
I think we're on the same.
when all that junk happened, I mean, we were just as frustrated as y'all. When,
I just want to know where the 40-yard compactor is.
obviously, it's on somebody
I'm
else's.
telling you, I saw, when you mentioned that, today, I saw a red Peterbilt that had not belonged to them with one of their dumpsters on.
Take that Tuesday.
I know, but this thing was going that wild was another truck had, I'm telling you, they get stolen out there.
It hasn't been that.
I know.
Put one of those tiles on it, the little finders.
How do you take a 45?
I've had roll-off boxes stolen from me. I've put out on jobs.
We have to.
Yeah.
Brave people.
Anybody else have it? Are you guys okay talking about this at council on Thursday? Yeah, sure. Okay. Are you okay with the increase that they've asked for? Okay. Yeah, thank you
Appreciate your
both.
time.
We tried.
Anybody else
really
have
did.
any questions? Danny, do you have anything?
I didn't hear the increase. What was the increase? 2%?
$2 a home.
I thought it was 0.2%.
It's $2 a home for my brother Rick and 10% for me, 90 days from now. If we do those 4 things and do
Now,
them right.
the second can, is there any chance? I know I didn't tell him that, I don't think.
You didn't.
50 cent, $1 or something on the second can. Right now, we're charging you $6 to dump a second can.
How about $1.50 and 8%, and we talk about it in 60 days?
No, I'm not a part of him now.
No, I'm talking to him. I don't even have a contract with you. I have a contract with Waste Management.
We will take that deal.
And what about the second can? Does that give a 50,
what-
Second can, $1.
50
more.
cents?
Are we doing?
We're haggling right now.
No, I'm not haggling. No, I can't lose 50 cents a house.
Now, you don't pick up a second can if it's not your can.
Right.
No, only
I
Waste
had
Management.
to tell people in our
Well,
neighborhood,
he has,
Yeah,
hey, this,
Council- he has spoiled people. I will give you that.
we do, he showed you that picture?
yeah.
We sometimes tend to clean it up because we know it's gonna generate a call to Shelley, and usually Shelley does a good job of calling us saying, hey,
Right.
they called in some extra bags. Now, sometimes we'll get out there and it'll be, they say they're called in for 2 extra bags, and you got 20 sitting on the ground. You know, so then we make a phone call back, hey, if we grab 2, there's 18 left, they're gonna call and say, we didn't get the 2. You know, so we get into that kind of problems. But, the volumes, it's just, like I said, it's just, recycling and garbage has gone up 30% because people are at home, people aren't going anywhere, they're bringing the restaurant food home now. So now I'm getting their commercial trash, because it's coming to my place,
Right.
you know, my pickup. So
So
that's,
second can.
if you sit down and do all the math, we could have asked for more, should have, but I didn't want to be unfair to the city either. I felt like this was a fair compromise for what I was asking for us.
So what are we talking about, $1.50,
And then 50 cents for
8%, and then 50 cents for the second can?
Now, what we doing?
$1.50,
$1.50.
$1.50.
8% commercial, 50 cents for the second can.
We're negotiating.
We're negotiating.
I'd rather stay at $2 a can than nothing on the second can.
Say it again.
No, I wouldn't. 'Cause I got a lot
I'm
of
gonna leave that to-
second cans.
I'm just telling you,
I
I've
have to
absorbed
take
all
the-
these.
I'm taking the
My fuel,
recommendation from this-
43% alone, my fuel alone, 43% in 1 year. Just my fuel, 43%.
Why don't we just we'll talk about the rate amounts over the next week.
I mean,
I
I'll
don't-
give you an example of a turbo that went out on one of my trucks. Finally found one. They normally run me about $2,500. I ended up paying $9,000 for that turbo because it was the last one on the shelf.
Right.
And the guy could charge me that, and I had to have it. So those are the kind of things I'm dealing with. I mean, those kind of things. I can't fix the unknown. I don't know what it is.
Rick, what I've noticed on the extra cans, it's hard to believe that a family of four has that much trash. What I've noticed on the extra cans is that, like you said exactly, and I could give you 3 examples where somebody has a pressure washing business
Oh, yeah.
or a painting business, and like you said, they bring those empty stuff from the pressure washing business, and they put it. So
Well, for $6, it's cheap.
for $6 is the deal versus them going to the dump
Yes,
and
and getting rid
dumping
of
it.
it. It costs
And
more than that.
You guys gotta deal with the labor, you guys gotta deal with the extra can and all that stuff that comes to it. So, like I said, it's hard for a family of 4 or 5 to consume that much trash. But what I've noticed is that they're bringing their business home with them, and that's really unfair. So I'm in favor of
And in
the
Snellville,
$1.
Snellville residents only get a 65 can only,
No, we'll just pass the calls.
where y'all get 95. They only get a 65 can only.
Yeah, so,
That's what they get.
so I know the chairwoman said we're gonna talk about it, but.
You can bring it to my house. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get him to recycle again.
Anyway, what,
I think we should just talk about rates and we'll do a recommendation on Thursday night.
Do they need to be here?
I mean, they can.
What they want, they better. Otherwise, they'll pass it
Yeah, they're welcome. You're welcome to come and answer questions. I mean, sure.
Thursday night.
I would recommend you be here because we got the 3 other council members that are not, or 4 in this case, that are not here.
There's only 3 that aren't here.
3 are not, oh, 3, yeah, 3 that are not here. So, that's.
I'm good. Unless you're.
And then in 60 days, y'all 3 in the back get to decide.
We can negotiate. We'll talk.
Okay.
Any other questions from anybody else?
What time Thursday?
6:30
Got it.
When?
PM.
PM?
If not, make a motion to adjourn.
So what are we doing? What day?
All in favor? Aye.
The ninth.
All right, motion's adjourned. Thank you.
Next week.